O Spirit of God and truth, who gathers us to celebrate another symbolic step in our learning and in our quest to know more, continue to remind us that we are your students forever, and there is much more for us to learn about living lives that make you smile. But for this evening, encourage us to see these graduates as the fulfillment of the promise you have made to your creation, that you will continue to send people who can bring good gifts to your good world. Help us to find ways to remember and thank the families and friends and mentors who have made these next steps possible, for none of us learns alone. And for those who we honor this evening, for their faithfulness to studies and their commitment to vocation, we offer you our grateful praise. Amen.
Be seated. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our commencement ceremony on this beautiful May evening, where we've been fortunate enough to have a little bit of a breeze begin to sway. And welcome to Stetson faculty, staff, students, trustees, family members, and most of all, welcome graduates. We're here this evening to celebrate your accomplishments and to recognize those who have made it possible for you. Your families, spouses, partners, parents, siblings, children, and your friends. So before you get too comfortable in your seats, degree candidates, please stand in turn and applaud those to show your appreciation for what they have done for you. Thank you. Well, congratulations to all assembled here today. It is my honor to invite Harlan Butch Paul, chair of our Board of Trustees, to our lectern to bring greetings.
Well, good evening. I'm Butch Paul, graduate of the class of 1976. And seated with me on the dais this evening are fellow trustees Louis Pratz, Patrick Lane, Tony Jenkins, Betty Johnson, and Steve Alexander. Thank you for being here as well. Well, one of the most rewarding honors to serving as chair of the Board of Trustees is the honor of welcoming you, the graduates, families, and friends at such a momentous occasion as your graduation. The conferring of degrees is a great honor. It's a chance to see all of the beaming faces here and what you've accomplished in this important milestone in your lives, and even the brighter beams from your parents, families, and friends seated behind you. Today you end a journey. It has been a challenging and at times exciting, and I'm sure also included some fun along the way. And although you've probably been here for 5 or 6 years, depending on how long it took you to get your master's degrees, you'll never stop learning. So remember that you will always be learning. You're simply beginning a new journey, and a journey that will hopefully be an exciting one, to be meaningful and rewarding the next stage of your life. Some of you will be starting careers, others of you will be continuing your careers, while others will be undertaking further graduate studies. And the member of the Board of Trustees, we're confident that whatever path you've chosen, Stetson University and this extraordinary faculty have well prepared you both for to succeed and excel, not only to prepare you, but also have empowered you. So today, as you leave this institution, ready to make a difference in the world, and as you go on to leave lives of significance, I have just a small bit of advice. And as I often tell my children, be sure to always challenge yourself, but just as importantly, always, always, always have fun.
I want to introduce to you some members of the senior team who are also here to celebrate your accomplishments. You're going to meet Provost Beth Paul in a moment, but also here with us the Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Bob Huth, Vice President for Marketing Greg Carroll, Vice President for Enrollment Management Joel Bauman, Vice President and newly minted PhD, Vice President for Student Affairs, Chris Candace Fisher, and our Athletics Director, Jeff Altier, and Vice President for Development and Alumni Engagement, who you'll hear more from later, Jeff Ulmer. Thank you for being here. May I ask you please to stand as we read the litany for the Stetson University community. And that will be read by the Dean of our College of Business Administration, Dean Tom Schwartz.
Please stand as we read the litany for the Stetson University community. Stetson University students, faculty, staff, families, and friends, we come together to celebrate and to reaffirm our commitment to each other and to the Stetson University, and to proclaim ourselves as active members of a loving and inclusive community. We celebrate and reaffirm our commitment to excellence in education as learners and teachers, and to our religious heritage, which inspires us to center our lives on the quest for meaning and truth. We celebrate and reaffirm our commitment to integrate education and action, scholarship and social responsibility for the purpose of promoting justice on our campus, in our nation, and throughout the world. Please be seated.
It is our tradition at Stetson University to be addressed by our graduates at commencement. To be selected is considered a high honor by students, faculty, and administrators alike. This evening, we will hear from Samuel Slaughter from the College of Arts and Sciences and Lauren Hill from the School of Business Administration. Sam is originally from Bloomfield, New Jersey, and is graduating with a Master's of Arts in English. While a student at Stetson, he worked as a graduate assistant in Stetson's Academic Success Center. There he undertook a variety of duties and worked with a number of different offices across our community. After graduation, he will be working as taproom manager and assistant brewer with DeLand's new craft brewery, Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company. We're all looking for samples, right? In addition, he'll begin work on his second novel. He is honored and humbled to be chosen as the graduation speaker for the College of Arts and Sciences graduate program because Stetson has allowed him to show off the time and effort he has put into crafting the English language over the past 2 years. Lauren Hall is originally from Colts Neck, New Jersey, and currently from Orlando, Florida. She is graduating from the Executive MBA program as a member of Beta Gamma Sigma. She obtained her Bachelor of Science degree at New York University, where she studied hospitality and tourism management and served as president of the Hospitality Business Society. Lauren works as catering sales and services manager for Walt Disney World and has worked for the Walt Disney Company since 2006. One of Lauren's proudest accomplishments during her time at Stetson was presenting a research project completed for Dr. Carrick's class at the Academy of International Business Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. As part of the EMBA program, Lauren had the opportunity to study abroad in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and Singapore, and had previously studied abroad with NYU in London and Prague. She plans to pursue a lifelong love and career within the travel and tourism industry. Lauren is honored to be selected as a commencement speaker so she can represent Cohort 10 of our EMBA program and share the personal and professional impact of her time at Stetson. And now Sam Slaughter, followed by Lauren Hall.
Hello, and thank you to Dr. Libby and everyone for having me here today to speak. I'm beyond honored to have this opportunity, and I hope in the next few minutes to impart something that is worthwhile and maybe a little funny. It would be great if it's a little funny too. Before I begin, though, I want to thank a couple of people, and as a sidebar, Dad, this may be the time to get Mom tissues. One or two, maybe. With that said, I want to thank my parents who have gotten me here and, more importantly, put up with me for 26 years. So they're here today, and I want to thank them. To Mark Powell, my mentor and friend, thank you. And to my DeLand family down here, thank you. There was a bit of pressure when I found out that I would be giving one of the speeches here today. You're a writer, they said. You're going for your master's in English, they said. You wrote a novel, they said. This will be easy. While all of those are true, it doesn't mean it was easy. I'll let you in on a secret. As someone who spent a good deal of time studying books, I become great, mightily excellent at pretending I know what I'm talking about. Couple that with a penchant for telling stories, and I can hide pretty well that I know very little about the world outside of words on a page or a bar. I know stuff about the insides of bars too. Words like fermentation or glycolysis or happy hour. Outside of that, meh. So this task of imparting something useful, amusing that can be taken, remembered, and hopefully used at some point seem, for a lack of a better word, daunting. That being said, I did what any good writer would do when faced with a similar decision. I hid behind my books. Time after time, as a writer, I'm drawn to three simple rules that a writer, Dennis Johnson, says are his rules for fiction. These rules, which I attempt to varying degrees of success in my own fiction, I realize could be applied outside of the realm of the paper and ink and words and phrases. I've changed his rules a bit to apply to us here today, but if you really want the rules for writing, just replace the verb with the verb write. As a second sidebar, I want to stop real quick and say that if this talk had a subtitle, it would be, if you take any of my advice literally, I'm not going to be the one to bail you out of jail. So here we go. First, do it naked. Again, not bailing anyone out of jail, but seriously, if you're going to do anything, do it naked. Put yourself out there. At this point, we've all worked too hard to waste that time, effort, and money. Instead, it's time for us to get the chance to put those multiple degrees to work. And here's what we'll do. And work is what we'll do. If we're lucky, we'll be doing something we love. When looking for that work, though, you have to put yourself out there. Nothing is stopping you from trying for that dream job. The worst thing that can happen is they'll say no. And yeah, that's not fun, but it happens and it shouldn't stop you from trying. My friend Andy says it best. This is one of his rules for life. Don't say no for someone else. What is it going to hurt if you put yourself out there? How can you succeed if you don't try? Yes, most of us are probably going to fail at some point and probably repeatedly, but so what? I'm probably going to fail at least two things today if I haven't already. Regardless of that, what good is someone who doesn't know what it means to pick themselves up and to learn from their mistakes? Second, do it in blood. When it comes to writing, every word is like a drop of blood. You need to use each one wisely because when using the aforementioned metaphor, you'll eventually run out of drops of blood and be dead. Or a character on The Walking Dead, which to some may not be so bad. There we go. What I'm saying, aside from my pop culture reference, is to make it count. Feel free to insert your own favorite maxim about this here. You've only got one life to live, or carpe diem, or you've only got enough room in your stomach for one more trip to the buffet. Whatever it is, in anything you do, make it meaningful. If you're following your heart or your soul or your gut or whatever is guiding you toward that dream job, then you're already going to be doing this. Again, here's another time to insert another favorite phrase of yours. this time about looking back on life. I used up all of my creativity on the buffet one, so just insert your own now. Take a moment, think about it. Got one? Here we go. Good. Remember that, whatever it is. Finally, do it from exile. Be uncomfortable. When I worked for City Year, they told us constantly that we needed to work in our challenge zone. I think everyone needs to do that. If you're not working from a place that you don't know, a place that makes you uncomfortable, then why do it? How can you grow when you're not pushing yourself? I know I can't. I can't when I'm running a race, and I can't in general. That may be the competitive, stubborn person in me speaking, but so be it. I hope at least one of the things I've just said is useful, and if one thing is, I'm more than happy with a .333 batting average, which would be so much higher than if I actually played baseball. So, thank you.
Good evening, family and friends, the Stetson community, and my fellow graduates. Tonight is special for many reasons, one being that many of us likely never expected to attend another graduation of our own. We might have thought our academic journeys had concluded with a bachelor's degree. What unites us tonight is the commitment to push ourselves further and achieve a greater success, both for ourselves and for the good of those around us. They say that it takes a village to raise a child, and I believe it takes a village to support someone going to graduate school while also working full-time. The past 2 years have been nothing short of challenging, and without encouragement from our loving families, understanding friends, and inspiring professors, we would not have been as successful on this journey. Thank you for allowing us to take this time to develop into the very best versions of ourselves. We each have different reasons for wanting to pursue a graduate degree. Mine was to improve upon the technical skills required to be successful in various forms of business. I knew I signed up for financial modeling and business analytics, but what I did not expect was the complete personal transformation that has occurred since my time at Stetson began. From the very first day of class with Dr. McCann and Dr. DeMoss, it was clear to the 12 members of Cohort 10 that this was not going to be all about math problems. The concept was introduced to us in August of 2012 and carried all the way through to today, that to be a leader in business or anywhere means to be a good person, to focus on the continued development of oneself and others, and to accept the lifelong task of understanding ourselves and the impact we have on the world around us. This idea of self-awareness and development was the basis of an EMBA capstone course this year and summarized by the term values-based leadership. I guarantee that few other MBA programs in the world place as much importance on teaching leadership by one's personal values as Stetson has done for us. The business world can be thought of as cutthroat and competitive, with stories of corrupt executives constantly featured in the news, damaging the reputation of their companies and affecting many lives. The number one reason employees are said to leave their jobs is because of unhappiness with their boss. Imagine if we, as business leaders, focused more energy on improving ourselves for the sake of our business and how financial results would improve. I feel honored and blessed to be part of an inaugural effort to launch values-based leadership into business education and commend Stetson, and specifically Dr. Greg McCann, for being brave enough to do so. I certainly worked on my fair share of math problems throughout the program, but have also become a confident and resilient leader. One could say that business is in my blood. My father is the third-generation president of a construction company based in New Jersey, and visits to his office and different conventions around the country were a regular part of my childhood. I always knew I would grow up and become a business person just like him. My appreciation for the business world has only grown since being at Stetson, largely in part to the inspiration I have received from the other members of my EMBA cohort. While the majority of us work for the Walt Disney Company, we each do so in different capacities and have unique perspectives to share. Some of us in the cohort are natural entrepreneurs, always coming up with a brilliant idea that could be the next big thing. Some of us focus on the development of people, and others work on projects that instill joy in millions of people around the world. To Cohort 10, you have been a source of unending inspiration. I doubt that I'll ever work in an environment as trusting and supportive as the one we have created. As we end this part of our journey, I encourage you to bring that trust and support to those you encounter in the business world and beyond. As a wise professor once said, People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I have complete faith that you will all do brilliant things and that this is just the beginning. One of the best parts of my EMBA journey was the study abroad experience we completed in Vietnam and Singapore. While in Ho Chi Minh City, several of us signed up for what was called a foodie motorbike tour, a 4-hour experience during which we rode on the back of motorbikes with locals, zipping through the city and stopping at a variety of food stands to eat what the locals eat. That night, I ate everything from goat meat to frog legs. But the biggest impression left on me that night was from meeting my tour guide, a 20-year-old woman named Q. For those few hours, I rode on the back of Q's motorbike, and we talked about everything from boyfriends to career plans to fashion. We became friends. I had traveled for 27 hours, halfway around the world, and found that she was just like me. The next day, we visited the Saigon Children's Charity, a nonprofit organization that provides support to disadvantaged children. One of the girls we met was a success story, having graduated from college and gone on to work for an investment bank in Ho Chi Minh City. Later that day, she reached out to several of our cohort members on Facebook, and just 2 weeks ago, when I got engaged, she sent me a congratulatory message. It's never been so clear to me that business connects people from all around the globe, and that it can be used to do so much good. As the world becomes increasingly globalized, business can be the tool by which we understand each other and share how we are more similar than we are different. I'm thrilled to be a young professional in the business world today and to have the potential for positive impact on the world through business. I thank Stetson for that exposure and preparation and for the ability to leave that type of legacy. I also thank my mom, who taught me to always dress for the job you want and not for the job you have. My dad, the hardest working person I know, who taught me if I'm going to do something, to do it right the first time. I thank my fiance, Michael, whom I met soon after starting the EMBA program. He had no idea what he was getting himself into, but has loved me through all of the ups and downs. And my best friend, Ashley, who has been my biggest cheerleader. All of them are here tonight, and I couldn't be more grateful for their support. I know you would all say the same about your friends and family. In its most simple form, business can be seen as a way of expressing one's passion. Your passion could be for people, for an idea, for a cause, or for a mission. Whatever that passion may be, I hope you each identify it and work your hardest to find fulfillment. I hope you have those moments, like riding around on a motorbike in Vietnam, when you look up at the moon and say, I really made it here. I hope one of those moments is now. Congratulations, class of 2014.
Good evening. Thank you, Sam and Lauren. You truly do inspire us, and we appreciate your words this evening. I know I'll be thinking about them for a while, and I really do appreciate your taking the time to inspire all of us. I am pleased to give special recognition today to those graduates who have been elected to Stetson University's highest honorary societies. Honorary societies from which we recognize graduating students at this ceremony are Kappa Delta Pi, the honorary society designating highest academic achievement for graduate students in teacher education, Chi Sigma Iota, the highest graduate honorary society for counselor education, and Beta Gamma Cygni, the highest honorary society in the School of Business Administration. Will the students whose names are listed in the program as members of these honorary societies please stand so we may recognize you with our applause? It is truly my pleasure and my honor to be the Chief Academic Officer of this university, and it is also my privilege to be joined this evening by 3 of our deans. Joining me, as you've already met, the Dean of the School of Business Administration, Thomas Schwarz, the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Karen Ryan, and the Dean of our School of Music, Dr. Thomas Massey. They join me in bringing special recognition to our faculty this evening. And I ask you all to join us in celebrating our faculty. This is a sincere and joyous day of celebration. And part of what we celebrate is the very generous facilitation of learning that our faculty do inside and outside of the classroom. We have dedicated teacher scholars at Stetson who so generously invest their minds and hearts in the development and success of each Stetson student. Will the faculty please stand for our recognition? This is a bittersweet occasion to acknowledge our faculty members who have elected to retire at the end of this academic year. We have two from the School of Business who will be retiring after very long and successful careers at Stetson University, Dr. Bob Boozer and Dr. Nick Maddox. Will you join me in recognizing them? These individuals have been enriched by the depth of your commitment to students. These students have been enriched by that commitment, and we wish them very much congratulations and best wishes on the next journey upon which they will embark. We now are honored to have President Libby give her charge to the graduating class.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Over the last few years, we have dared you to be significant. It is a challenge that has prompted you to think beyond your own success and has guided you to think about the impact that you have on others in your communities and around the world. As you leave Stetson, I want you to wake up every morning and live on the edge of your comfort zone. Try new things. Seek to inspire others. Pause long enough to soak up the moments that matter, to keep your perspective. That's where you'll continue to find your significance. But before I give you your charge, did you know that this is Teacher Appreciation Week? How cool is that? You get to graduate and thank your professors all in the same week. Stetson faculty really are special, and I don't really have to tell you that. But you know that a college environment like Stetson's is where you work alongside your faculty, engage in important thought, and get involved in activities beyond the classroom and learn to lead a great life, beyond all the other things you have already done that have brought you here. So while a recent study that came out this week was speaking mostly to undergraduates, this Gallup-Purdue Index reported how your connection with your professors on campus has an impact on your well-being. Your faculty have seen you as individuals who live and breathe and think for yourselves. Your faculty have encouraged your hopes and your dreams and ignited your enthusiasm for learning. And all the while, they have become your mentors and your friends. And because of that, this study reports that you, after today, are twice as likely to be engaged in work, meaning that you're good at it and you enjoy it, and 3 times as likely to have a healthy well-being in terms of your sense of purpose, social life, physical health, and how connected you are to your community. In fact, life in college matters for life after college. So be sure to thank a professor today. Back to this idea of walking a path for significance and my charge to you as you move from this phase of your life as a Hatter. Author John Maxwell, who writes and lectures about leadership, says there are 5 markers to know whether you are reaching for success or striving for something greater. Significance. It starts with motive. Significance comes from a place of unselfishness. Success is yours alone, so think beyond yourself. What can you do to benefit the world? And then there's influence. When your goal is significance, your influence is unlimited. Strive to be the source of inspiration. Teach others to fish. The third difference between success and significance is time. Significance outlives you. Invest your time wisely, value it, and leave a legacy to others. The next is focus. It's not about you. Significance asks, how can I add value to others? Lastly, know that you're working towards significance when you can cross the finish line and experience the reward. When it's no longer enough to experience success for yourself, you want it for others, and your joy is the result of others' successes. Motive, influence, time, focus, and reward. Find something you love to do. Do it well. Remember what your faculty gave you and encouraged you to be and to do, and you'll have this significance thing covered for life. And don't forget where you want to end up. It's not just about the effort expended, but also about whether you're moving the needle. What do you want your life to say about you? Author Grenville Kleisler says this: today, and I would add every day, is the day in which to express your noblest qualities of mind and heart, to do at least one worthy thing which you have long postponed, and to use your God-given abilities for the enrichment of someone less fortunate. Today, you can make your life significant and worthwhile. The present is yours to do with as you will. This juncture in your life may mean many things. From this moment on, you take with you the best of Stetson, what you've gleaned in knowledge and skills and experience and confidence. Let the weight of your responsibility to yourself and others both humble and empower you. You're already making a mark in the world, and I believe the world could always use another Stetson graduate. So I have one last homework assignment for you, and you thought you were free and clear and done and gone, but no, I have one more assignment. Remember the value of the Stetson network in the years ahead. Come back to campus. Connect with another student. Extend a hand when they're looking for an internship or a job or a place to stay when they've just moved to town. Pay it forward. There are Stetson alumni behind you, and there are Stetson alumni before you. Reach out to them. You are all on this path towards significance, and you're all in this life together. As you join this community of alumni today, some of you for the second time, I might add, may their accomplishments both inspire and motivate you. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2014, and Godspeed.